Hello. Oh, yay. Okay, I'm a little bit later tonight, only because David had a golf lesson, and that ended at 6, and then we had to have dinner, and yeah, now I'm here. Hi. Take my glasses off, actually. I don't need them. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to get started on one of these big flowers here. And what we're going to do, perfect timing, Zoom for work just ended. So that's perfect because now this one's just started. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the outside edge here, okay? We're going to use the buttonhole stitch, and we're going to use just 2 strands, okay? It's going to make sense, I promise. What we're going to end up with is something kind of like this one, this outside edge, like this. So there's going to be a little bit of space between if you want to, or you can make them quite tight and close together. The bigger that you make your stitches here, obviously the more spaced out they will be. Think about it like we're going to be making 7s all the way around, okay? So you're going to come up here, yeah, go down here, and you're going to end up making a little 7, a little backwards 7, like this, okay? And all we want to do is make sure that we are aiming our straight stitch here, so this one along this edge, almost like we're aiming it. Thanks, Jessie. We're aiming it almost to the middle, and it will make sense, I promise. So let me finish separating this thread because I got 3 and then I decided I wanted 2 because that would be a little bit easier to make a lot of stitches if I wanted to. So there's your reminder to drink your water, Kimberly. Drink more water. I'm sure that people come on here for the very first time and Jessie starts drinking and then everyone's like, ha ha ha, drink your water. And they're like, these people are nuts. What is going on? But it makes sense, I promise. Be sure to drink your water. Okay. Hi, Veronica. Hi, Ruth, Sarah. Lots of people here. George. Hi, George. How exciting. Okay, I've got 2 strands. All right, let's zoom it in. Put that in the middle. Okay, so we're going to come up on this line here, like this. Okay, and then down on this line in here. And what I mean by kind of trying to make it seem like the points are like pointing towards the inside is if I did it kind of way over here, you're going to have a really big backward 7. So I'll just show you real quick. Okay, so if I put it in like this, yeah, we're going to come up inside the loop just like we normally do for a detached chain stitch, kind of, yeah. But if I did it like this, you're going to end up with a really big one, just one big one. Can you see that? Because I've done the red lines, okay? So you want to get it so that it's kind of pointing to the middle. Maybe pointing to the middle is not like the most accurate term to use. Maybe that's like the wrong phrase. But all of these here are going to be like pointing down in towards the middle. So they're all going to look like they're radiating out. But we want to make them a little bit smaller so that they aren't, 1, so big, and 2, they'll show a really nice curve around the outside edge. So let's just take that apart. Okay, I'll rethread my needle, and then hopefully you'll be able to see what I mean. So we'll do them a little bit smaller. Oh, and I guess eat your food now too, because now she's deciding to eat her food. So you're always going to go up or down on these lines. We're not actually going to make any stitches in between in the white stuff, only on the top line or this bottom line here, okay? So now we've done one stitch. What you're going to do is do another stitch exactly the same as how you did your first one. So you've already come up. You go down here on the line. And then back up here inside the loop on the line. Is this making sense? I feel like I jumped into this a little quickly. So please let me know if you're like, what are you talking about? I almost did a curse word. But I know that children watch this sometimes, so no curses from me. Okay. So again, we're just continuing, putting that on your line. And I like to kind of pull up a little bit like that. Now, when your line goes down, like this, so you want that nice curve, obviously you're going to follow that line and put your stitch lower. So following, this is the buttonhole stitch. Okay, so again, and as you go around, you'll kind of see where you need to make some of them a little bit closer together and some of them a little bit farther apart. If you want to make these right close together and kind of fill in the space and not leave the lines like that, then you can do that as well. So you'll just make your stitches a lot closer together. Yeah, it's the buttonhole stitch. And I have taught it before, so I did show you the tea and coffee one. So this is from the tea and coffee stitch along from February, not this last year, but I believe it was February 2021, I think, maybe. And for the stitch alongs that are free for February, I didn't do one this year because I had just had a baby. And I just didn't have time to do a free one go live every day like I normally do for National Embroidery Month. So the free ones are free for that month. And then if you'd like to do them after that, you can buy the paid one and the free one is in it. So it's the same with the girls. I did one with some girls. And there's a bunch of different girls. And yeah, that's all in. The free one is in the paid one there as well. Meaning like you can watch the videos and stuff, but like the actual template and pattern are like, they're only free for that month, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we just keep going round and round. This is another one where if you drew it a little bit weird or wonky, or if you were in a bit of a rush, make sure that you take some time to make your outline how you want it to be, because I find that once I start stitching, I just stitch on the line. I don't even like pay attention, you know, to like, oh, is this line straight, or is it the shape I want it to be, or anything like that. I'm just like, right, go, fill it in. So if this is you also, I'm talking about specifically this situation, I'll say that. This situation there. So I'm definitely going to have to either make this one a little bit bigger, like that, and maybe put this one like that as well, or something, because she is a mess right there. Okay, so we just continue. And this is all we're doing today, so literally that's it. The buttonhole stitch for the outside edge. Now, if I had my hoop off of the hoop stand, I would be turning this around as I go, because it's way easier to just turn the hoop than it is to try and do it upside down and backwards and sideways and all that kind of stuff. So don't be afraid to, nice one, Jessie. She's just done a massive burp after she's eaten, so hope she's happy with herself. So yeah, so if you're one of those people that are like, I don't know what to do because as you turn it around, it all gets backwards and I get mixed up, just turn your hoop. Just turn your hoop around and you will be grand. I think this is going to look so cute. And if you want to, you can also add in the sample from the coffee and tea one. I'll show it again in a minute. If you want to, you can fill in each of these holes. I'm going to call them holes, even though they're not holes, but the spaces in between each of these stitches with a straight stitch, if you really would like to do that. Or you can just, SOS. Hold on. Okay. Or you can see what we're going to do for the middle part here and then decide if you want to keep it empty or if you want to fill it in. And that's something that can be done later. So if you feel like, I'm not 100% sure, then that's something that you don't have to decide right now because it's super easy to just add some straight stitches in a little bit later. On Details Day. So there we go. I've got 2 strands and this is the buttonhole stitch. Just trying to keep my stitches kind of in line, you know, with that middle piece. I know it probably doesn't make sense how I'm saying this, but I just kind of think, like, if I put it way over here, then the angle of my thread here and that, it like won't make a nice angle. Do you know what I mean? But if I put it like here, then I know that that will be just about the right place. I feel like I'm not explaining this one very good as far as like angles and stuff. But please, please, please ask a question if you are unsure of what I'm talking about, or if you're like, don't know. This stitch doesn't make sense to me. And for me, I'm not really bothered by how far apart they are. So if that's something that really bothers you, then you can totally try and make them the same exact space apart, you know? So what I mean is that sometimes you can get it where the space between your stitches is a little bit wider than some of the other places. That doesn't bother me at all. But if you're one of those people that's like, nope, can't do that, then focus on trying to make these stitches here where you come up, this one, where my needle is now, all the same width. So that might mean that you have to make them really small, so that when you go around those curves and those edges, they kind of go around all the way. Meaning that you don't have any areas that are a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. They kind of fill it in, go around in all the same pattern or the same direction. Do I even know what I'm talking about today? I have no idea. This is kind of like the detached chain stitch. It's kind of like the fly stitch. If you think about the actual like movement that your hands are doing, meaning you kind of make that loop and hold it and come up inside the loop. And the pattern that your stitches do. Another one that is kind of related to the detached chain stitch is the fly stitch. And we always learn that with the fern stitch because they look very, very similar. So we'll do those towards the end because some of them kind of really overlap the bottom of the basket. So we'll see if we can do the basket first before we put any of the really small, tiny things on top. For big things like the flowers or the leaves, the things that we've already done, it won't be a big deal. But for tiny little like one piece of thread type things, we want to do those later so you can stitch them on top of the basket if you want to. So we're almost finished. We actually had tacos again today. We just ended up having leftovers from last night. And I feel like hot sauce is probably not a good idea before live. I feel like I'm just thirsty. Oh, we're almost done. It's the easy one today. But it's one of those where you put your stitches is more important than you think it is. So this is another one of those where you might have to do the guidelines on. You can just draw them straight on if you do draw the lines out where you want them to go, how far apart you want them to go, and then literally just use this kind of backwards 7 or upside down backwards L, to outline those that you've drawn. Now I'm back to the beginning, and to end it, I'm just going to put a small little tacking stitch on the other side of that. Do you see? Just on the other side there like that to hold that down. And then we do a knot on the back and we're finished. We're all done. So let's zoom out. How cool does it look on the back though? That looks so cool. I mean, like just the stitch, not like the whole thing. Okay. So that's what it looks like. I think it's going to look really, really fun. I'm going to show the example again from the previous stitch along. And this is what I mean by doing the straight stitch in the middle. Now, if you want to do the straight stitch in the middle, you can either do it just part of the way like I did to make like a pattern or like another little like faux flower on the inside, or you can make it go all the way to the very, very end, meaning like the red one, instead of stopping kind of three quarters of the way, go all the way to the very, very tip. Almost like we did when we filled in these here. Okay. I cannot wait to put more colors in here. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to get like a really nice, almost like that red color. Maybe like a little bit more orangey or like corally to put for the middle. Oh, I cannot wait. It's going to be so fun. Okay. Well, that's it from me. That's pretty much all done. We're finished. We're finished for today. So it was a really quick one. Simple stitch. But it really practices your thread placement, so where you place your stitches and where you place your thread, and doing that like repetitive stitching movement. Yeah, I just love embroidery, guys. I feel like it's just so fun. You can just do so much with it, you can make anything. All right, well, I hope that you love this one. I feel like this is going to be another one of those where some people either love it or they hate it. So let me know if you are love it or hate it. And yeah, I'll speak with you guys tomorrow. Okay. I'm trying to repost all of, if you tag me in your stories, I'm trying to repost them. But if I don't, I'm really, really sorry. Yesterday was really busy, so I ended up not doing any of the reposting until today. And then sometimes, like the stories will expire before I can actually like repost them. Do you know what I mean? I tell people embroidery is stress relief because I can stab things a bunch of times and it makes something pretty 100%. Get your anger out. But also don't go too furious because that's when I end up stabbing my fingers. which is like sometimes when I'm like, oh, I just have to get this done, and I'm like doing it really fast and sloppy. And then you get all the little stabs in your fingers and they get really tender, don't they? So yeah, so I just wanted to say sorry if I didn't repost yours from yesterday because the story time ran out, and I really did try, so I am sorry. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the buttonhole stitch. I cannot wait to see yours. And yeah, keep tagging, keep doing such an amazing job. I'm so proud of you guys already, and it's only like halfway done. So yeah, enjoy, and I will speak with you tomorrow. Okay, bye.